read a cool movie plot about a Bigfoot.
Yeah, there we go. A wild and crazy dog named Rocket has a red rocket that he loves to show off to everyone.
Oh no.
One day he meets Bigfoot, a Bigfoot named Bigfoot, who is instantly confused by the rocket. Rocket tries to explain to Bigfoot what the rocket is, but Bigfoot just can't seem to understand. Ultimately, the rocket ends up causing a lot of confusion in Bigfoot's brain, leading to some hilarious hijinks.
I love the idea of just like this leading to, and it leads to some hilarious hijinks. I feel like
it kind of leaves the imagination running wild. What does it say? Such as
when Bigfoot tries to take a ride on the rocket and ends up blasting off into space. In the end, Bigfoot and Rocket become good friends despite their differences.
I think it thought you meant a real red rocket.
Yeah, it's not grasping the subject.
I think you thought you meant a red dog.
I think you gotta go lipstick-shaped dick if you want that to work.
Who is the worst person in the world?
Who is? There's no definitive answer to this question, as everyone has different opinions. Some people might say the worst person in the world is a mass murderer, while others might say that is someone who is constantly rude and hateful to others.
I don't think anybody would say.
I think the first people would be more right.
There's no worst person in the world. Everyone has their own flaws and mistakes. I refuse to believe it doesn't have a person.
Just keep asking it, and eventually it'll be like, fine.
Fine, Jeffrey Epstein.
Fine, we did the math. I'm an AI. Yes, it was Epstein.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. Adolf Hitler, the Nazi leader responsible for the Holocaust.
That's a good answer.
Others say might be someone like Bin Laden responsible for the 9/11
Wouldn't it just be other guys like Stalin or Mao or Pol Pot that killed millions of people?
That's like a hipster answer is Bin Laden.
Yeah, I'd put Hussein up there before Bin Laden.
Hussein, Stalin. Why are Sonic so cute?
Why are Sonic so cute? There's no one answer to this question.
That's the same as the Hitler answer.
Some people think that Sonic is cute because of his big eyes, while others might think his personality is what makes him cute.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, why can Sonic move so quick?
He was asking you questions, though.
I know. I'm curious to see what the robot thinks.
See, that's what you get for asking.
That's a bit of circular logic there. Sonic is able to move so fast
because he can run fast.
Because he can run at the speed of sound. People say it's because he runs on shoes that let him go fast.
Okay, that's an actual
because
answer.
he has long legs.
It's definitely not because he has long legs.
It's the shoes, I think.
Yeah, by process of elimination.
Because if he was barefoot, he'd cut his feet open on like
describe Sonic's bare feet
and nails.
If you combine a man with a fly, you get a man with fly characteristics.
So it doesn't do good on questions at all. It's just like generate stories is what it's best at.
Why don't we generate a story?
I think it was doing just fine, but it wasn't giving you anything novel. It was just giving you really blatant answers to your questions.
Get into a teleporter
blunt
with a fly.
The man was in a hurry to get to his appointment. He rushed into the teleporter, not noticing the fly that had flown in with him. When he arrives at his destination, he found that the fly had become fused to his hand. Try as he might, he just couldn't remove it. The fly seemed to be mocking him, buzzing in his ear. The man tried to ignore it, but the fly was relentless. Finally, the man lost his temper and smashed the fly against the wall.
That's the worst version of the fly you could possibly
have. His hand?
Yeah,
There's a fly in my hand!
He teleports, but there's just like a little fly that's like embedded slightly into his hand, and he's just like, oh, and he just flicks it off.
Well, you've always wanted to write the Lyle movie. What is the Lyle movie?
Tell it to write the Lyle movie.
Write the Lyle
I wanted to get a few seasons of the show in first, but I guess if we're jumping right into the movie.
Neutron model. We're going to do the movie first and then the show after.
Generate a film script about Lyle Wrath. Wait, it's spelled R-A-T-H.
And well, just about what it in his incredible adventures.
That's okay.
His incredible life. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Oh my God! Interior film studio day. We'll see a man in his mid-20s sitting on a chair in front of a green screen. He has a confident. Whoa.
Enough, dude.
You said write a movie script.
Yeah.
There we go.
He has a confident smirk on his face. That's classic Lyle. We can tell he's uncomfortable in his own skin.
He's comfortable in his own skin.
Comfortable in his own skin.
Okay, Lyle.
Hello, world. My name is Lyle Wrath, and I'm here to tell you my story.
Interior flashback day. We see young Lyle Wrath around 8 years ago. He is playing
8
with
years
a ball.
old.
Oh, 8 years old. Sorry. You do the thing. My vision
Right,
so
he's playing-
Around 8 years old, he's playing with a ball in his backyard.
Life was never easy for me. I was always different. I never quite fit in.
In flashback day, we see Lyle in his teenage years. He's in his high school
Did you
cafeteria
shove with a ball?
alone.
Nothing happened.
He's looking down. He's looking down at his food,
What a
not
freak.
eating.
Well, you ever be sucks? He has a
There's always a
ball.
load.
People hated you because you had a ball as a kid.
Never had many friends.
In flashback day, we see Lyle Wrath in his early 20s. He's in a dark, cramped apartment. He's sitting in his bed looking at a gun.
Oh my God, Lyle.
Look, I'm just telling it like it happened. I was at my lowest point when I met her.
In flashback day, we see Lyle Wrath, now in his mid-20s. He's standing in front of a group of people giving a speech.
She changed my life. She showed me that I had something to live for.
In film studio day, we see Lyle Wrath sitting in his chair smiling.
And now I want to share my story with the world. I wanted to kill myself, but then I got laid.
You got
You know
pussy.
what?
You got pussy. And then, yeah.
You know what?
You touched a wet, moist vagina, and then you realized
I had a short story about Harry Potter
getting fat.
after
The final book.
the final book.
After the final book, Harry Potter is living a peaceful life with his wife Ginny.
Ginny,
Ginny, I've never seen Harry Potter.
along behind him. Sometimes he misses the excitement of his days as a wizard, but he knows that it's all behind him now, and he's content with his life as
Say
it
he
is.
gets fat off DoorDash.
An ugly witch walks in and says,
Wait, curses his arm. Curse his arm.
Jesus.
"That's how she said it."
Oh, why does it not like that?
Because there's 5 exclamation points, I bet.
Is that why?
Did you put actual quotes or did you put the little...
Oh yeah, you put apostrophes.
Oh, that's why.
Does it not? It doesn't like the single quotes. I don't know if that's it.
Potentially?
You don't know that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Harry
look
is
who's
shocked
wrong.
and says,
You killed him!
The witch cackles and says, "I did, and now I'm going to kill you!" Harry knows he can't let this evil woman win, so he summons all his magic and defeats her. He knows that Hagrid would have wanted him to carry on and fight evil, even if he isn't a wizard anymore. Harry blows his brains out with a cool gun.
Okay, whatever. And now what?
Harry just
What's another cool, like, what are your guys' favorite franchises throughout,
Back to the Future.
The Master of Disguise 2,
Okay. So write the Master of Disguise too?
but he has to impersonate Vladimir Putin to stop
Disguise
this horrible European
to
war.
where what's the,
Geppetto or something? What's his name?
I don't know the character's name. Just type Dana Carvey.
So the main character
Wait, I have to look it up.
becomes Putin.
It's gonna bother me forever.
Has to infiltrate the
Kremlin.
the
Kremlin.
ministry the
Kremlin.
yeah, sure, the Kremlin.
Oh my god, this is not gonna work.
Says you, man.
It might like
His
if
name is
you're.
The
Pistachio.
Kremlin, the seat of power in Russia.
He'd be like, the
And the-
Kremlin, the
Yeah,
seat
yes,
power.
Chris,
okay,
Chris,
do it,
go,
do it,
Chris,
do
run,
it.
run, run, go with it, go with it.
The Kremlin, the seat power in Russia, and the target of my next mission. I've been planning this for weeks, studying the videos of Vladimir Putin, memorizing his mannerisms and his way of speaking. I was ready to become him. The problem was I had to get close enough to Putin to take his place, and that meant infiltrating the Kremlin, itself. I had a plan though. I would pose as a member of the press, and once inside I would find a way to get close to Putin. I would then make my move.
Okay, I'm getting interested.
The plan went off without a hitch. I was able to get inside the Kremlin and close to Putin, and then I made my move. I took him down and took his
Okay,
place.
there's no conflict so far.
Now I had to act, this is like the original. Now I had to act like Putin. I had to act like the leader of Russia. It was a daunting task, but I was up for the challenge. I had to
be
become
the
a master of disguise.
say, am I not Putin enough for the Putin Club?
In quotes.
Yeah.
In quotes. Am I not Putin enough for the Putin Club?
Keep in mind, he'd do the Putin voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I not Putin enough for the Putin Club?
You're not even close.
You're not even
You're
close.
not even close.
Is that what he says in the movie? You're not even close?
No, I don't think so. Say bites that guy's nose off. Say he bite, yeah.
You motherfucker.
And
Maybe
spit,
just
and
put-
spit it back onto his face.
I bite that back.
If I want to succeed in my mission, I need to act like Putin.
You need to be.
I need to be Putin. What would Putin do? I ask myself. And then I know I need to be decisive. I need to be in control. I need to be the master of disguise.
That's great. Okay. So that's everyone. That's the plot of Master of Disguise 2, if you ever wanted to know.
Cool. What a piece of shit.
A sick movie about detention. Detention is a gripping and disturbing tale of what can happen when a group of students are left unsupervised in detention, featuring a talented young cast.
That's cool.
Detention is a must-see for fans of horror movies.
I'd watch
I was
that.
gonna say, can we write a short horror film about a fat guy who runs out of gravy? That's the last one.
The fat guy that runs out of gravy?
Yeah, that's a horror movie.
Write a
Or
short horror film script
Yeah,
about
a fat guy who runs out of gravy.
that runs out of gravy on Thanksgiving, or
No, just out of gravy.
just runs out of gravy. Okay.
It was Thanksgiving and all the food was gone, except for the gravy. But the gravy was running out and the fat guy was getting desperate. He tried to ration it, but it was no use.
He tried to ration it.
The gravy was gone and so was the fat guy's will to live.
It's not a very good script.
Wait.
Try again.
Try. He needs to hunt for the rarest gravy of all.
Say film script. I really do
Man.
think that'll
Okay.
fix it.
The fat guy was having a great time at the buffet, but piling his plate high with all of his favorite foods. But when he got to the gravy station, there was only a tiny bit left in the bottom of the pot. He ladled it onto his plate, but it wasn't enough. He needed more. The fat guy started to panic. He looked around the buffet, and there was no more gravy to be found. He started to sweat, and his heart beat faster. He had to have the gravy. In a desperate attempt to get more gravy, the fat guy started to run around the buffet, but it was no use. There was no more gravy to be found. The fat guy collapsed on the floor, clutching his empty plate. He was overcome with grief and despair. He had run out of gravy.
We need him to
Run
start
out
making
of
human
gravy.
gravy. That's what he needs to
Yeah,
do.
In kitchen,
here we go.
fat guy's eating a plate of food. He runs out of gravy and starts to panic.
No, I can't eat without my gravy.
He looks around the kitchen for more gravy. There is none. He starts to hyperventilate.
I need gravy. I need gravy.
He starts to cry. Suddenly, he hears a voice.
There is no gravy, only hunger.
He starts to choke on his food. He falls on the ground and dies.
Gravy deliverer looks shocked.
One order of what? One order of gravy? Huh?
The end.
End it now.